Whoa, there's the front camera. Hey guys, racetuning.com. We're upgrading from the Warn VR 10S to the VR EVO 12S wireless winch. This Jeep was purchased new in January of 2019. At that point in time, Warn did not have their winch plate available, so we put the Rugged Ridge winch plate on it. You can see it's been used a little bit. It has little wear marks from the rope bunching up in the middle. You can see how the mounting holes have some slots in them so you can move your winch left to right. We're installing the 12,000 pound winch because we don't know who we're gonna have to pull out at some point. Might be an F-250 or a Chevy truck or something. The 10,000 pound winch was fine for the Jeep, but we're gonna pay a little extra for some cheap insurance to have the 12,000 pound winch. When you're installing the winch, first thing you need to do is take a tape measure and make sure you have it centered in the hole so the cable is centered through the fair lead on your front bumper. This Jeep has the steel front bumper, but let's see, we're at 8 inches right there, 6.5 on this side, so we need to go to the left. Let's see. I know it needs to be 7 1/4, so let's do this. Okay, there's 7 1/4 on that side, 7 1/8, so we need to go just a hair more. So what I noticed was when you try to line up the slotted bolt holes, that the winch needs to go back. These wires on the back of the winch are hitting the grill. The Warn winch plate, which is readily available now, states there is 0 interference with the grill. We'll go ahead and use this Rugged Ridge winch plate since it's already installed. I'm gonna cut the grill behind the winch so that the wires will clear this part of the grill. I know I'm gonna get some haters out there, but I don't plan to convert back to not having a winch. The notch I'm gonna cut will be covered up by the winch. Plus, it's not the first time cutting the grill anyway. We installed these off-road lights. We didn't have to cut the painted part though. That's these bezels, which are actually separate from the painted part of the grill. If you're interested in that, look at our other video where we installed the off-road lights. Whoa, there's the front camera. Oh, this shit's all up in the radiator. I'm just gonna do a test fit first. Okay, so it comes with the square nuts that you have to put in place before you install the winch, because you won't be able to access it once it's in there. 2 back here. The bolt holes line up perfectly. See them there, and there, and there, and there. See the after cut back here. All right, I'm gonna throw in 2 types of bolts. I got Allen bolts and then regular bolts, just in case anybody ever tried to rip off the winch. That'd throw them off a little bit. The Allen in. Get 2 more. Use this to center the nut in there. Okay, now let's measure up on top again. It's about 7 3/16. You do a crisscross pattern like you do on a wheel. I already see it. Transmission cooler line that's in the way. Okay, so here's what you want to look out for. For example, here's a power steering line. You definitely don't want to strap your cables to that. You'll end up causing a leak here sometime down the road. There's a nice hole on the frame rail right there underneath the battery box. We can strap it to that one. We're gonna avoid all the hoses, belts, pulleys, etc., and go straight up to the battery. Okay.
I mean, there may be 2 holes there, but oh, there we go. Check that out. You don't want it to look like a cluster pack. Alright, this will be nice besides the airbox.
Okay, we got all the wiring run. Nice thing about the wires on these Warn winches is they're just the right size and length to wire up on a Wrangler. So we got strapped right here around that little frame piece. We're avoiding like this transmission cooler line, for example. Avoid all the pulleys and belts. We got the negative, it was long enough to strap it around that frame rail right there. The positive goes up right here, pretty cleanly up to the top. And these things are perfect, man. I have the airbox out right now. You see it's gonna fit in nice and tight right there. Comes up and around. Perfect length for the positive and negative. We're gonna put the airbox in and then the bumper and call it a day. All right, my horns go right here since the stock ones go up there where we installed lights. All right, let's pull this out a little bit. By the way, it may look like it was an all-day job because the sun's going down, but I've been doing other things, so doing this off and on. So we got 8 18mm bolts right here. We're just gonna put those in. I had to bust out the 1/2-inch drive swivel to get around the horn. All right, we saved the Epic hook off the old winch that we had. There we go. All right, let me get the remote. We're just gonna reel it in for now. Pre-test it later on. But they say that you should have a Jeep running when your winch is on, but it's not really under any load right now, so don't need to have it running. It's not like you're winching somebody out. Watch your fingers when you do that too. Got this really cool fair lead from Rubicon Express. Matches the Rubicon emblems on the hood. Look, our skid plate's legit been used. So if it's your first time installing the winch plate, you have to modify your skid plate brackets. So you take it off and then cut this little square out, and that allows you to get inside because these 2 bolts have nuts that go inside here, so you can get the wrench on it. Look, our bumper's legit been bottomed out too. So the last really cool thing that we're gonna do is install this Warn abrasion sleeve. This is gonna keep the sun from fading and deteriorating your synthetic rope. So let's do this. Okay. So if you're looking for any of this stuff, go to racetuning.com. We have the winches, we have accessories like this, we have winch plates, so check this out. Okay. All ready to go. The next step is to pre-tension the winch. Stay tuned for our next video for that process.